Is the Google Pixel 9 worth buying in 2025? Well, in this video, we're gonna find out. What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, and this is the Google Pixel 9 in 2025. Now, it has been a while since this phone was launched, and I want to make this video to kind of look back on it to see if it's still a worthy option. Now, of course, this phone is still plenty capable. In fact, it's getting 7 major Android software updates, so clearly Google meant for this device to last for a long period of time. But just like any other smartphone out there, there have been many other competitors that have since been launched, so I just wanted to see mostly how this phone is doing and how it's holding up. Now, the Pixel 9 is the only device in the 9 series that actually comes in this winter green color. Unfortunately, if you want to get the Pro or Pro XL, this color is not offered, which I'm not sure why because it's one of my favorites. But I like how the box matches it. Now, in the box itself, we don't have much here. It is a different designed box from the 8 series and other previous Pixel devices. I like how we have kind of this outline of the phone here. But opening this up, there's not a whole lot here. All we have is just this USB-C cable for charging and data transfer. Now, the Pixel 9 has a full MSRP of $799. However, I definitely recommend taking a look to see if you can buy the device used, because I know especially on Swappa and eBay, you can buy this phone either lightly used or even open box for far less than that full MSRP. Because honestly, $800 is quite a bit for really any smartphone, and if you can save money in any way possible, then I definitely recommend doing that. Now, one of the things that's especially unique about the Pixel 9 is that from the predecessor, the Pixel 8, we're getting a completely different design here. The first difference is that the corners here on the device are rounded, so you can definitely see that they're very curved, and some people like that, some don't. Now, the pro of having squared off corners is that you're technically getting more screen real estate. You can see here that a curve does, of course, take away part of the display. However, the good thing about it is that the phone can rest very nicely in your hand, so it does make the phone a lot more comfortable to hold when you do have these rounded corners. Another difference too is that the sides of the device have a slight curve to them as well, which also makes the phone more comfortable to hold. We have aluminum on the sides of the device, and then on the back and front we have glass, and I know especially for the front panel here, it is Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2, so it's extra durable and high quality. Now, speaking of the display, this device features a 6.3-inch display. It does feature an OLED display, and it has a 1080p panel with a PPI of 422. Now, this device does feature a 120Hz refresh rate. However, keep in mind that it's not enabled by default, so you will have to go to the settings. Then from there, go down to where it says, where to go? Display, somewhere here, there it is. And then just make sure you enable smooth display. And then by doing that, you can see things run a lot smoother here on the device. So that makes a big difference, and that feature is not utilized unless it's actually selected there in the settings. So that's definitely something very important, and I highly recommend enabling this. It does use a bit more battery, but why even have the feature at all if people aren't going to use it? Now, in addition to that, we are getting a 20:9 aspect ratio, so a more narrow but taller form factor, and we're getting an 86.1% screen to body ratio. So I like how we have very small bezels on this device, but in addition to that, all the bezels are equal in size. So it's not like the top and bottom bezels are thinner or larger than the sides. They're all exactly the same, which is definitely a really good thing. Another difference, by the way, too, with this device is that we have a slightly different camera module compared to the Pixel 8. However, in many ways, ever since we had the Pixel 6, it's been more of an evolution rather than a full redesign with how the actual camera module looks. They make small changes to it, and it is kind of silly if you think about it, how every year they just have to make a slight change to how the camera bar looks, but I guess that's what people want. Now, up top here on the device, we do have a hole punch for the front-facing camera, and that front camera is 10.5 megapixels. Now, definitely take a look at my full review of this device, which has been out for a while at this point, to see a variety of different photo and video samples from the actual phone itself. Now, one of the biggest downsides with this phone is that I feel like the base configuration doesn't really give us enough storage. Now, that is the configuration that I did purchase, but this phone comes with 128 gigabytes. Now, keep in mind, this is an $800 smartphone, and we're getting 128 gigs? That's really not a lot. And to make matters even worse, there is no microSD card expansion. So you are stuck with just 128 gigabytes, plus cloud storage as well. But I just feel like that's not really enough. I think for most people, it probably will be fine, but I wish this phone had at least 256. Now, on a more positive note, we are getting wireless charging here with the device. It does max out at 12 watts if you want to use a generic Qi charger. However, if you use the Pixel stand, you can do 15 watt wireless charging with this phone. And then this phone does have an in-display fingerprint sensor, which is awesome. So nice and fast there. We'll try that again. Very quick. And in addition to that, the phone does support Face Unlock. So I do appreciate that we do have multiple methods here for getting into the device. Now on the back of the phone, we have a dual camera setup. So we have a 50 megapixel main camera and a 48 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. So here's how things look on the camera app. Then from there, we can go to the ultra wide angle camera to fit a lot more content into a single frame. So this is of course a flagship smartphone, and just expect to get flagship quality from all the various cameras on here. Also in addition to that, this phone does support up to 4K video at 60 FPS. And then with this device, we're getting 12 gigabytes of RAM, along with the Google Tensor G4 processor. Now I've had a good experience with that configuration. The phone runs really fast, which I really appreciate. And then with the Pixel 9, we are getting a 4,700 milliamp hour internal battery that does support up to 27 watt fast charging. With this device, we're getting NFC to use with Google Pay, and then we're also getting stereo speakers. Now on the left side of the phone, there's nothing. On the right side, we have the power button, volume up and down, and then up top here, we have the noise canceling microphone. And then on the bottom of the device, we have the speaker, USB-C port for charging and data transfer, microphone, and the SIM card slot. And then on the back of the phone, we have the Google logo, we have the camera module and flash, and that's pretty much it. So if you are considering buying the Google Pixel 9 in 2025, I do think it is a worthwhile choice. This phone has a lot to offer, it's packed full of flagship features, the cameras are really nice as well, you're getting some of the best cameras out there on a smartphone, and of course, Google has a lot of their own machine learning and AI to make your images look even better. I also like that we're getting better performance here with the Tensor G4, and we're getting plenty of RAM at 12 gigabytes. And of course, with the display here on the phone, it's super bright and vibrant. I like how we're getting small bezels, and this new refreshed design with these rounded corners is definitely a nice change from the predecessor. But this concludes my video on the Google Pixel 9 in 2025. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. But this is Kevin here, and I will see you in the next one.